From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A pleasant evening. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
I'm Movin Hettiarachi and here are today's headlines. A stock of heroin valued at 100 million rupees apprehended in Kotikawatha upon revelations by Markandere Madush. It has been made compulsory for all passengers going abroad to do a PCR test 72 hours prior to their leave. Appointments to 1,117 medical interns. The Prime Minister says a select committee is to be appointed for election law revisions. Chief incumbent of Bellanvilla Raja Mahaviharaya reiterates on the necessity for the 20th Amendment to strengthen the President's programme. A plan by a group headed by Zaharan to launch Easter Sunday attack using 12 suicide attackers had been disclosed. Incumbent Prime Minister secures a landslide victory in the New Zealand general election.
For those and other stories in detail, we begin with news from home. 10 kilos of heroin were detected in Kotikawatha in Kolonnawa at dawn today based on information provided by Markandere Madush, who is currently under detention at the Colombo Crimes Division. Police media spokesman and DIG Ajit Rohana says that the contraband was found hidden in a garage in Kotikawatha in a raid conducted by the Colombo Crimes Division. 4 firearms and live bullets were also apprehended. A firearm, a motor car and a tipper were taken into custody of the Criminal Investigation Department upon interrogation of organised criminal gang member Janit Madhushankar alias Podilassi, who came under detention of the CID on the 15th of this month. The motor car was found in a garage in Habaraduwa, Gaul, and the tipper in another garage in Ambalangoda owned by another organised criminal. The police says that the US-made pistol was recovered in Telvatha in Mitiagoda. It was also being revealed that the group of Podilassi was planning to kill a gangster named Janit Nishantha, currently in custody and who was an associate of Manoj Mendes, who was murdered several years ago. The police special task force has arrested today a suspect with a pistol of microtype and 27 live ammunitions in a house in Hategama, Balapitia today. The items were found buried in the house premises. The suspect and the firearms were handed over to the Ahongala police station for further investigations. A female with 2 other suspects recently taken into custody by the Ruanwala police station while transporting a stock of heroin valued over 1.5 million rupees have been placed under detention yesterday. It has been found that they had distributed heroin in Haliagoda, Ruanwala, Kegol and Veyangoda. Details of the racket were unveiled when the vehicle in which the 3 suspects were travelling was apprehended by the police in Mattegoda as it failed to heed orders to stop. 4 suspects were also arrested with 46 grams of heroin yesterday in several raids conducted by the Meegoda police station. Suspect named Sujit Sarang alias Kotua, a resident of Baralla, was arrested in Situmina Mavatha, Godagama. The police was able to trap the other 3 suspects, residents of Hokandara, Slave Island and Vallampitia, upon his arrest. The police has apprehended a van believed to have been used by the suspect detained in connection with the Easter Sunday attacks in Rizvi town, Kathankudi, yesterday. The vehicle was nabbed by the Patiklo District Criminal Investigation Division and handed over to the Kathankudi police station. The driver was also taken into custody.
The general public are able to gain access to the President's office via mail, telephone and electronic mail according to the recommendations and instructions provided by the Health Division on controlling COVID-19. Accordingly, the people would connect themselves with the Public Relations Division of the President's office, the Office of the Ombudsman and the President's Fund via several telephone numbers and email addresses. The telephone number of the Presidential Public Relations Unit is 011 4 354 550 and 011 2 354 550. The fax numbers are 011 2348 855. The email address is publicaffairs@presidentsoffice.lk. The telephone number of the Office of Ombudsman is 011 2338 073. The email address of the office is ombudsman@presidentsoffice.lk. The telephone number of the President's Fund is 011 2354 354. The extensions are 4800, 4814, 4815 and 4818. The President's Fund fax number is 011 233 1243. The email address is fundsecretary@presidentsoffice.lk. Appointments were presented for 1,117 medical interns through online today. The Ministry of Health has taken measures to deploy the new recruits to fill vacancies in hospitals island-wide. The list of names processed to online due corona threat were published in the website of the Health Ministry today. Acting Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Sridharan, says that the appointees should report to duties in their service locations on the 20th of this month.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that proposals will be presented regarding appointment of a selection committee for revision of election laws. He adds that this would be enabled to expatriate Sri Lankans to have voting rights. The Prime Minister has made these observations at a meeting on strategic planning on the Election Commission held at the Temple Trees yesterday. Chairman of the Elections Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, has pointed out on this occasion that it is imperative to revise the election laws according to the strategic plan of the Commission for the period 2020 to 2024. Opinions have also been expressed on the allocation of a separate date prior to the day of the election for those who are unable to cast vote on the election day. The need for the revision of deposits pertaining to the election has also been pointed out. Another proposal presented has been to update electoral lists once in 3 months to pave the way for those to receiving voting rights as soon as they fulfill the age requirement of 18 years. The meeting has also dealt with the issues including provisions of voting rights to overseas Sri Lankans, management of election expenditure and preparation of voting centres to enable facilities for disabled persons. Officials of the Elections Commission have also enlightened the Prime Minister on issues pertaining to the e-voting system under special projects. Parliamentarian of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Attorney at Law Sagara Karyavasam, has also attended the discussion. 4 newly appointed diplomatic officials of the Foreign Service have met the Prime Minister at the Temple Trees yesterday. They were the Sri Lankan's Permanent Representative Designate at the United Nations in New York, Mohan Peiris, New Sri Lankan Ambassador in China, Dr. Palitha Kohana, New Sri Lankan Ambassador in Japan, Sajiva Gunasekara, and Sri Lanka's Permanent Representative Designate in Geneva, C.A. Chandraprema. The Prime Minister has extended best wishes to the diplomats. They are scheduled to commence duties in their respective diplomatic services shortly.
The chief incumbent of the Bellanvilla Rajamaha Viharaya, Venerable Bellanvilla Dhammaratana Thero, in a special media communique says that it is necessary to approve the 20th constitutional amendment in order to further strengthen the program of the President. The Venerable Thero adds that all sections in the government should extend support for the passing of the 20th Amendment. The Parliament's Select Committee, which met yesterday, has decided to conduct the debate on the 20th Constitutional Amendment on the 21st and 22nd of this month. The vote on the second reading is scheduled to take place at 7:30 p.m. on the 22nd. Thereafter, the third reading or the committee stage discussions are scheduled to take place. Several groups have expressed their opinions on the 20th Constitutional Amendment.
It has been disclosed at the Presidential Commission inquiry into Easter Sunday attacks that the group headed by Saharan had planned to launch the Easter Sunday attacks using 20 suicide attackers. A member of Saharan team has revealed that they were getting ready to launch a series of attacks under 3 stages. This was disclosed by an official of the Terror Control and Investigation Division, giving evidence before the Commission yesterday. He further said that a clash on leadership between National Tawhid Jamaat organization leader Saharan Hashim and Naufir Malawi had surfaced by March of last year. Bomber of Kochikade Church, Alahuddin Ahmad Muad and Jamil, who had exploded the Dehiwala bomb, were reported to have attempted to resolve the dispute. The two were said to have boarded and 3 members of the Saharan group into a motor car near the Mount Lavinia station and brought them to Saharan's security residence in Paratta Road, Panadura. Upon interrogation by State Attorney, the officer added that at the meeting, head of 13-member Shura Council, Milhan had asked to hand over leadership to Maulavi Naufir. Saharan was reported to have attempted at the meeting to cover his shortcomings. A decision had been taken to not to betray the members to security forces and share the properties. Saharan was also reported to have said that retribution attack should have been carried out in response to the attacks on a mosque in New Zealand and in Syria. Saharan had also stated that more attacks should have been launched in hotels and casinos mostly visited by foreigners and also in churches. Answering another question by the State Attorney, he said that Saharan ordered bomb maker Rilwan to launch an attack within 15 days as dates of expiry of explosive materials in bombs lapse after 15 days. According to the testimony, Saharan had convened a meeting of his team members in Malvana and asked them to decide whether they would want to be suicide attackers or to die in a battlefront. 3 out of the 20 suicide bombers remain in custody. When the chairman of the Presidential Commission inquired whether there had been plans by Saharan to launch attacks in the outstations, he had ordered to launch attacks in Nuwara where there were more foreign tourists.
The Ministry of Health says 3,395 COVID-19 afflicted patients have fully recovered. It further says that 121 new patients were reported today. 115 patients have been identified from the Dulapitia COVID cluster today. Accordingly, the total number of patients in the cluster has increased to 2,014 so far. 373,534 PCR tests have been conducted. As a percentage, the number of fully cured is 62. The percentage of patients still undergoing treatment is 37. The Minister Pavitra Varniyarachi says the health staff engaged in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic should be safeguarded in all fronts. The minister has made these remarks at discussions with trade union leaders and representatives in the supplementary and paramedical services today. 59 close associates of the COVID-19 patient reported from Bandaravela recently were subjected to PCR tests at the Bandaravela District Hospital. A meeting to discuss on steps to taken to stop the spread of coronavirus in Polonnaruwa took place in the district secretariat presided by North Central Governor Mahipala Herath yesterday. The Lunua Regional Hospital has been reserved for female COVID-19 patients. 41 patients were currently receiving treatment in the hospital, which has a capacity to treat 80 residential patients. A Manning Market complex in Peta, which was temporarily closed down, resumed activity today. The market was closed down recently with reporting of a COVID-19 patient. Kagala District Director of Health Services, Dr. Padmakumara Vikramasinghe, said 6 villages in Rabukkana, which have been subjected to travel restrictions, were reopened today. 32 persons, including physicians at the Kuliapitia Teaching Hospital, have been quarantined due to confirmation of affliction of COVID-19 to a female who had been receiving residential treatment at the hospital. Measures have been also taken to temporarily shut down the more wards along with the ward where the patient had been undergone treatment at the hospital. The temporarily closed down Alutnuara Devalaya has been reopened today. The location was closed down 10 days ago with reporting of the arrival of several COVID-19 patients. The caretaker of the Devalaya has been subjected to quarantine and the Devalaya premises sterilized. Essential commodity items were presented to Bhikkhu and other undergoing quarantine in a Pirivena in Piliandala. The decision has been taken to reopen the General Public Head Office of the all provincial offices of the Department of Registrations of Persons until the 23rd of this month. Those who are needed of presenting identification cards until such periods should submit their applications through Grama Niladhari or Divisional Secretariat Divisions officers. 50 persons at the quarantine centre in Vaunia have been ended their quarantine period today. They have arrived from Abu Dhabi. It has been made compulsory for all air passengers leaving Sri Lanka to conduct their PCR tests within 72 hours of their boarding times. The directive will come into operation from 6 p.m. tomorrow. State Minister Dilum Amunugama says that the Department of Motor Traffic will commence activities with effect from next Monday subject to service restrictions. Quarantine curfew is being implemented in 19 police divisions in Gampaha. However, common transportation services are able to travel across the area, but they are allowed only to board and leave candidates of the GCE advanced level examination in the curfew enforced areas. A-level information pertaining to COVID-19 disease should be obtained through hotline number 1999 of the Health Promotions Bureau. The Director General of Health Services says that those who feel that they have been afflicted with the viral disease could receive the necessary assistance to confront the situation in all 3 languages. Specialist physicians provide necessary instructions 24 hours of the day via telephone networks.
Now, Sri Lankan church authorities have cancelled Sunday schools, Sunday masses and other services due to a resurgence of coronavirus cases. The government has banned all public gatherings until further notice as a new cluster of COVID-19 expands. The church announced that it is cancelling all Sunday schools until further notice. Colombo Archdiocese announced that all Catholic private schools in the Archdiocese will be closed until further notice and Sunday masses will be cancelled for 2 weeks. Daily masses, funeral services and other services are allowed with a limited congregation. It is required to obtain the necessary guidelines of the health authorities to avoid risk.
Meanwhile, the funeral of the veteran drama artist Anulabula Sinhala took place at the General Cemetery at Borella this evening in the presence of artists and intellectuals in numerous fields. She was 73 years old at the time of demise. Remains of the late artists were kept at a private funeral parlour in Colombo for general public to pay their last respects. The late Mrs. Bulat Sinhala stage drama career spans for a period of 40 years. She has contributed her excellent acting talents to 22 drama creations during this period. The versatile artist had entered the drama field through a drama Ledak Nathi Ledek, directed by veteran drama producer R.R. Samarakon. She had displayed her talents in many stage plays and master stage drama director Edirivira Sarachandra and others. Anulabula Sinhala had also functioned as a singer and dubbing artist. Her skills were amply reflected in teledrama and cinema fields as well. She is the wife of senior drama artist Lushan Bulat Sinhala. That's it for tonight's English News Update. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.